Yeah, that might be a good one. We'll see in a bit. What I personally like doing is just doing standard Uncle, and then maybe going to Kakariko via the North route. But it looks like Glan might be doing that, but Christos is immediately going to Sank after checking Link's house, and then probably doing the same thing, but then without the Uncle.
Yeah, and we got rupees so far in both chests. See what the tier 1 triple is. It's just rupees again, only green ones.
Yeah, not the most exciting start, but at least if you have a small buffer, you'll be able to get some bombs from the shop.
But talking about an exciting start, what's really good about this mode is that you always start off with boots, so that might be a reason like worth considering playing this mode.
Oh, that's a nice bounty from the Uncle. So Glan will be able to get bombs in Kakariko at least, without any issues. He also found one earlier, and the mirror in Lumberjack Cave. Okay.
Well, that might...
if that's necessary or not.
I mean, it most likely will be necessary. And we got a map check. That was a regular crystal in Eastern Palace and Tower of Hera, and I think it was the green pendant in Desert.
Now we'll get a second look really quickly. Yeah, you are completely correct.
We found a sword here in the mushroom spot in Lost Woods.
Alright, so having an early sword is really nice because it makes getting spin speed easier, it makes clipping easier, a lot less troublesome. So that's definitely the item you want to find really early. Either that or hookshot, I suppose.
Yeah, these are the two items you definitely look for.
So it looks like we are mostly seeing a standard routing here, one that you would also see in open mode. But after Kakariko, after we are approaching race game, we might see a slight difference.
So I like what Christos did there near the fortune teller's hut. There are like these bonk rocks on the left side, and they always drop a bomb. So you can just get these. That's like a neat trick in Overworld glitches, since you always start off with the boots. So you don't really have to worry about going into Kakariko without boots, as you do in the other modes.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't actually need the rupees to buy bombs. I mean, it's nice to have a buffer, but at least one or two from that proc are a nice backup to have.
And we found the cape in Blind's hideout. That means we are all, already only the lamp away from getting the mirror, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that might be a small sign that the seed expects you to do something.
And we see Glan on the left side also getting at least one bomb. You could also go back into the fortune teller's house and then get that Bonkrok's prize like a couple of times.
Yeah, I guess it mostly depends on whether you expect to find a couple of bombs in Blind's hut or not. I'm kind of wondering though, I mean, the mirror does make doing things a lot easier, but they are only strictly required for Swamp Palace and Overworld glitches, aren't they?
Yeah, it really depends on where the items are laid out. And I think we just got a rod. I'm not sure which rod it was though. Did you catch that?
I think it was the hot rod.
Also got Quake here in the Kakariko well on Crystal's side.
So with the fire rod, it makes going through Agate Tower a lot easier.
Yeah, they could do it without lamp, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you know where the torches are located, you can just do it as fine with the fire rod. It's not too difficult, actually. So we might see that.
Like 10 extra rupees by diving to the well another time, just to get the item from the bottle vendor here. Those are pretty expensive bombs, but at least you know what it is.
Alright, so what Christos can do after the chicken hut, he can either go around, check the library, and and look for the race game item, and is also able to get that from like below, which is kind of recently found out. But he might just go to the left side here, which, okay, it seems like he doesn't do that. And he could have gotten the race game item first, but then he would have isolated the library over here. Which are only 3 bombs.
Alright, let's see what's on race game. Just these hearts. So looks like Christos is just going to continue towards the desert right now.
Yeah, and this is like, I think it's the first glitch we see in this. Oh, he actually gets the item.
Just a bit of early safety, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, if you're wondering what how Christos is doing this, so basically you see these diagonal slopes. Pretty much on any diagonal slope you can clip into by just like holding your sword out and then press like either left or right depending on what slope you're facing, and the boost on the exact same frame. And then you can just like slowly clip into it. And if you stop moving at a certain pixel and then press either down left or down right, also depending on the orientation of the slope, you can like do an upwards or downwards teleport. And we saw Christos do an upwards teleport to get the maze game item and a downwards teleport after to get into desert. And you can go to all kinds of crazy places by doing that.
Yeah, Glan used a different method in order to get the item from race game, but he soft locked afterwards and was stuck in the wall.
And he
but right now
decides
he did the Death Mountain Ascent. Can you explain how that one works?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You just do an upwards teleport on that ledge we just saw, and it's like when you transition right, it puts you into the Death Mountain area, and then you have to fix your camera and can enter the old man's cave, which is kind of like not in the place you would expect it to be. But yeah, it works, and then like it's a good move to rescue the old man early, since you want to start on the mountain cave save point like a million times in these seeds.
Yeah, for sure. And at least with the sword, it's pretty straightforward to get it.
Yeah.
Just some more bombs as a reward. Chris is looking for some magic. I think. I'm not sure what he's planning to do, because he can't actually get to Lemos yet, logically. He might wrap around and try to clip into the back of desert in a bit.
So what you saw Glan doing there, he got spin speed with the irregular method, and then for some reason you can just like walk through these diagonal walls, and he just like jumped down off of Death Mountain, but he didn't actually screen transition, but he landed like on the top side of Death Mountain again. And as it happens to be, you are like kind of by the side of Hera when you do that, and you can just like conveniently walk into it. Like if you know where it is, considered you are not like inbounds or like your camera is all messed up. But it's actually not that hard to pull off. I'd say it's probably one of the easier glitches in this mode.
But also useful. Christos actually used a pretty neat way to get into the back of the desert. He used the cliff from the main entrance of desert, clipped it into a little bit to jump off and land right into the rocks to get to the backside. Glan decided he wanted a few lazy seconds in the tower room.
Yeah, but he will go out of this dungeon with a crystal, so that's not too bad. So preparing a death warp on his side. Because we already know that the mirror is on Lumberjack, so you can mirror out. Walking out is slow. So yeah, he has to find some other way to get out real fast. But these
the
models
just don't want to kill him. Like, no, get away from me, you freak. Alright, so Christos gets his green pennant. Glan on his way to the top of the Tower of Hera. He probably has a little bit of a nasty fight coming up. Just a couple of hearts and fighter sword. Moldorm can be pretty nasty.
I think the boots make it a lot easier if you're only on fighter sword though, since you can, like, most of the time, I guess, dash right through him. Sometimes you get a frame rule and he will still hit you, but yeah, it should be fine. Like, Glan can do this, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, taking a little bit of punishment there. Yeah, Christos seems to be doing a more standard route. After that, just continuing with South Loop, not taking any risks with maybe getting some better equipment to explore more of Death Mountain or to be able to fight Moldorm a little bit better. What's interesting though is that Christos had to save and quit after killing Lamos because he doesn't have the gloves to pick up the rocks.
Yeah, that's like one downside of that. I think he isolated, what is it, Agona's Cave and the Cave 45 with that.
Yeah, he'll be able to combine those later. It's not that far away from Link's house, I suppose.
Yeah.
Glan making quick work of Moldorm there, very nice fight.
Christos finding the Master Sword here in the mini Moldorm Cave, but not really anything else, so... Not too much going on over there yet.
Yeah, it might make the Moldorm fight a little bit easier. And... yeah. But otherwise, it doesn't really matter for Agatara, I suppose, because I don't see Glan doing Agatara before South Loop. I missed what was on there.
Oh, so did I. I was watching Christos save a bomb there on the Ice Rock Cave. Well, we will see in a second, but Christos got the Cane of Samaria here in the Ice Rock Cave. Very good find. And I think with that save and quit, he might have... No? Alright. Not heading up Death Mountain.
It was a sword. Okay, so we know the locations of 3 swords already. Christos not checking the island. Just going straight to Sahasrara.
Glan doing one of the more precise bomb jumps here in the, what is it called? The Spectacle Rock Cave.
Yeah, that was a really nice one. Makes it a lot easier to get to this point to get to East Death Mountain.
Christos cashing in his Scream Pennant, only gets 50 rupees for that.
So desert not really paying off. Okay. Not going into Eastern. Probably feels like he has a lot of other stuff to check.
And so what we saw Glan doing there is do a regular downwards teleport, and then he kind of got stuck inside the wall. But as he's wiggling, like you can never look up in that spot, otherwise you will get stuck. And if you're wiggling like the left, right, and down inputs, you kind of get thrown more and more to the right, since the game is trying to like put you on a position where you can like unstuck. And yeah, it so happens that you eventually screen transition to the right, and then you can just hop off to some kind of like safety bridge. I don't even know what to call that, but it's kind of like a massive bridge of like just dirt, and you can run over to the right side and check the East Death Mountain without needing the hammer or the hookshot, which is quite convenient in this mode.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to see some more new ground here in Paradox Cave. Nothing in the southern 2 chests. ChristosOwen is just following Glan in his footsteps right now. Saving the old man, and I'm probably going into Hera as well. The main thing we are looking for right now was the item that Glan just found, the Moon Pearl. I was about to say that right at the start, that's mostly the item you're looking for in order to gain access to most of the Dark World. You don't really need the gloves or the hammer in order to get access.
Yeah, so we don't have like a weird Moonpearl position going on this time, which is like mostly what you I don't know, like you sometimes expect it to be in a weird location in this mode, since it can be pretty much almost anywhere. But yeah, I personally really wonder when these guys decide to pick up the mirror. Like, when would you grab it? Would you go for that now? Now that you have like, what is it, 7 hearts and the fire rod?
I'm not sure. Now that I know that Swamp is a crystal, I would be more inclined. But I would probably check some other things first. Maybe just go through Village of Outcast towards Hype Cave. And the basic checks before committing to a Dark Agate Tower.
Yeah, and we saw on this map check that T-Rock and Swamp were the bonus crystals, and Pod and Skywoods were the other pendants, and everything else is just a regular crystal. So yeah, as you said, we kind of need the mirror at some point, so it's totally an Aga required seed, which is quite rare for this mode.
Glan taking a fortunate death. With only 5 hearts, it is a pretty dangerous place with the killer dactyls.
Looks like he's heading towards Hyrule Castle. He already checked the anchor, right? So we might see him go to Aga.
So, what would you do first? Would you immediately go to Aga, kill him, and then mirror and do the rest? It seems like Glan is just...
Well, you could not directly mirror since you have to grab it from the lumberjack, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not like, oh, you killed Aga, here, have this free mirror. You would have to get it.
But getting half magic here definitely helps.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I guess my answer also is like do the rest of Escape first. Probably would have gotten the back chest in the dark first, and then Death Warp to the front, so I can start with like maximum. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I think it doesn't really matter at this point, but yeah, definitely do some stuff of Escape before going up Agatha.
Yeah, after that, that's definitely a logical choice. Oh, Christos getting bullied a little bit. Okay, he does know to slash him another time, because otherwise he would have range boulder him. That would be a bit more of an issue.
See Glan going for the 8 slashes for this guy, although he could have just burned him with the fire rod. Because funnily enough, the Master Sword only does fighter sword damage to that dude.
Alright, Chris is going to be picking up his tempered sword quickly. Yeah, Glan is not going to do the sewer chest. He could have had a small key so he could get all the way to the bank, but it's not logic.
Yeah, I think getting the mirror right now is probably the best idea, since you kind of don't want to traverse through the Dark World without it. So you kind of limit yourself in your abilities for some Overworld glitches, since you can do like fancy stuff like mirror wrapping and go to some places much quicker than without the mirror.
Yeah, no mitts required. Glan not having any luck with combat today. Second death. Dark Agate Tower really is rough though.
Yeah. I mean, it's doable, but it's still not the easiest one, I guess. It's probably like one of the hardest dark room experiences. Since it's actually a series of dark rooms. That's probably the worst part about it.
Yeah, it's 6 dark rooms in a row. I mean, half of them have torches, but those are also... yeah, well, 2 of them have torches.
I think you can light the next room with these torches, right? So that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, they're still lit. Chris is going to be finding his pearl soon. So let's see what he does after he gets his main Dark World access. Oh, Glan.
Ooh, has to be careful here. There's a torch on the left side in this room. He gets the other one. That's also fairly easy, I think. Really has to be careful now. Oh, that's actually smart that he's waiting for the torch to go out so he can light it again and not like run out of like light in the next room.
Playing it safe definitely is the wise decision here.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any magic left though, so he's going to have to be careful in this room. These spears do take half a heart. And while usually you don't die in Aga Tower, you can take a lot of chip damage. Especially from these red cards.
We see Christos is deciding to go down Death Mountain instead of picking up the mirror. Which is also not, like, there's no real wrong choice. But... oh, and he gets stuck in there. I think he went down the wrong ledge there. So that's why he got stuck inside the mountain. And now he's starting at Link's house. No, he's not. I'm a liar.
I think he did the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that as well.
Oh no!
That's unfortunate. He just ran out of magic and got poked by the guard. That just like bounced him into the hole.
What a killer combo.
Yep.
Yeah, and without any magic, it is really rough to go through all that again. So I'm not surprised that Glan decides to do something different at this point. Okay, ChristosOwen going for the more standard approach now. Gets down to the Dark World.
Gonna go up here, check the bumper cave ledge real quick, which he can also get immediately if he decides to do so. Only has 50 rupees, so he's not gonna bother getting that.
Getting our confirmation on the crystals and pendants. Kind of a shame that Skullwoods is a pendant with that early fire rod.
And Glan on the other side is deciding to continue where what Christos did earlier. Probably hop into desert real quick over here. Wonder if he's gonna finish it or if he's gonna leave it.
Yeah, it depends on whether he feels if Crystals might do it or not, I suppose. He might feel like he has to make plays right now in order to catch up.
Yeah, like either he decides to, you know, that he needs some kind of crazy gamble to win this after he died twice in Aga Tower, or if he kind of decides, all right, let's play it really safe so I don't mess up more. And while we say that, Christos found the hookshot here in Skywoods.
That's a great find.
Yeah, that's a really good find. That makes some clips way easier.
And the oh so important bug net. So that's both items in Skullwoods. So I don't think we'll be seeing much of that.
Yeah, at least not yet.
Yeah, aside from that, we still have a lot of Dark World to check. There's the entire village of Outcasts. We might see a dive into Thieves Town.
Let's found a bottle here in Sea House. I wonder if Christos is thinking, oh damn, I should have picked up the mirror right now so I can check Sickit immediately.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how concerned he is at this point. I think it is quite an undertaking and quite a decision to go for Dark Agatha. But yeah, it might be on his mind right now.
Yeah, but Christos also has a couple more hearts than Glan does, so I think it's more doable in his state.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Glan also does the fancy hop into the circle of rocks over there.
No, I hadn't seen that one before.
Right. Meanwhile, Christos deciding to hop into Thieves Town and finds the power gloves in the first chest.
Yeah, it's not something that you're super excited about to see in OWG.
Also not too unhappy.
Yeah, it does open up Hookshot Cave and Checkerboard Cave at this point.
And we also know that Christos didn't check what is it, the K45 and the Checkerboard Cave yet, and Aghanas, so he can just like combine all three of them next time he's around that area.
Yeah, it definitely makes for a nice trifecta right there. Okay, so ChristosOwen just decides to only check the first 4 and then hop out. Makes sense because he doesn't have the hammer yet, and he might feel that there's a decent chance of there being an item in the big chest. Right? Since there's still quite a bit of stuff to check, there's no real reason to commit. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Because ChristosOwen died in the Dark World and Aghanim has not been killed, after getting a screen transition, I believe that you're in the fake Dark World, which is actually the Light World or something.
I think it's called the fake Light World.
Fake Light. Right.
I might be wrong though. But yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
And that way he was able to go and check the item from the Sickit. But I believe that someone in chat might be better equipped to answer that. Do you know if we found the map in the front of Escape? Otherwise there might be an item in the middle of the sewers.
I think we did not find the map.
Alright, so ChristosOwen will find the map in a bit then. Okay, so we're going to get our K45 check and probably Agina afterwards.
But yeah, nothing in K45, so what do you expect? Where do our runners go next? Like, I can see one of them going into GT, like most likely Christos with the hookshot and the cane in hands. Like, he can check all of the basement. Oh no, he doesn't have.
He doesn't have the hammer, so he can't do left side. But going through the right side might be pretty tempting.
Yeah,
you can't get through the gauntlet because of no bow, but there's still a decent amount of items to get right there. I wouldn't be surprised to see something towards Hype Cave either. That's a decent density as well. We still haven't seen Marsh yet. So the entire south part of the world might be interesting.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna do that crazy hop on the bottom left side that puts you over to Swamp Palace. I would love to see that in a race. Because I'm pretty sure that got like discovered very recently as well.
This is actually a really nice one as well. Going into the Todorok area, there's at least 6 items in a Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave, and then there is another couple in Todorok itself because he has the Cane of Samaria and the Fire Rod. So this is not a bad play at all.
He could even like hop down to Catfish after this, if he goes into the front.
Yeah, if you can open it, that's definitely a good idea. Finds the flippers in Hookshot Cave, so that unlocks a few more things. We definitely need that for Swamp Palace. So this time Glan is tracing into ChristosOwen steps once again, after finishing Desert Palace before. Does the South Shore in the Light World.
Yeah, not the worst idea. I think he's kind of hoping to find the lamp very soon, so he can go back and grab the mirror.
Yeah.
But from all we know, he's out of luck if he like hopes to see that lamp early.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the most accessible location, it seems. We have not seen Ice Rod Cave though, have we? Oh, did we? Yeah, Kane was there, so we did. But
Yeah.
we might see some Water Walk, considering he already has a decent amount of rupees.
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
Oh, Chris is taking a hit. Has to be careful. He's still only on Green Mill.
But did a very good job there avoiding the bunny beam until he killed the Pokey. And we see Glan setting up his water walk here in the Ice Rock Cave. It's definitely a very good idea. Oh, has to be careful though.
Yeah,
Down
once
to half
again.
a heart.
Alright, these jumps can be pretty dangerous as well. Oh yeah, using the cave is a good idea. Finds the big key. So he's going to check the front area right now. That's at least 3 chests, and then we'll be able to get through to the back as well. So we will probably see Laser Bridge in a bit.
So we saw the second shield upgrade there on the Lake Hylia Island. Glan deciding to check the hobo. Got 1 water walk stored, I think, since he did the fake flipper. So he can just hop down here and activate that. Oh, actually, he's still keeping it. I think did he mess it up? Because he didn't get fake flipper there on the first attempt now.
Yeah, I think you lose your stored water walk right there.
Yeah, but from all we know, it's not too bad if he got the Moonpearl, since he can still get the Zora item and possibly the ledge item. I think the only case where he can't do that if there's something valuable in both locations.
Yeah, he will have to leave one of the 2 behind probably.
So he will get a single water walk when he comes out of this cave.
Yeah, ChristosOwen Death Warping, I believe. Yeah, it's definitely Death Warping.
Yeah, and then he can like conveniently check the back items here.
Oh!
Glan finding the hammer, that's not too bad. That gives him an actual chance to catch back up.
Yeah, for sure. Once he later finds the gloves in the V-stand, he'll have normal Dark World access, so that saves him not having to do the Death Mountain descent every single time he wants to go to the Dark World. And just a small refund on Zora's end. ChristosOwen doing the Dark Todorok room. A different dark maze, I suppose.
Yeah, Glan decides he doesn't even want the 300 rupees, which is probably a good idea since he doesn't really need more rupees than he already has, and every rupee that he doesn't need adds to like potential lag in certain rooms. So definitely a good idea to not pick them up, but it has some trouble setting up this spin speed.
Yeah, it gets right now. Oh. Okay, this is just way to save time? Or does he have something special in mind?
He might do the jump down to the swamp area. Oh no, it looks like he's going into GT at this point.
Alright, that makes sense. He's kind of sequence breaking the left side, but with the hammer in hand, he will be able to
Yeah,
do the entire basement.
probably not the worst idea.
And it looks like Chris is trying to... Oh, he hasn't checked... Oh, okay. Never mind. I have no idea what he's going to plan now. I was saying that he might do the front of escape and then...
Yeah, I thought so
Try to
as
do
well,
that
but looks like he's going to the Zora area as well now. Gonna pick up his hammer in a minute. Actually buying a potion, which is also not a bad idea, since we can do some fancy tricks with potions.
Alright, that makes sense. Keeping enough money for Zora. I'm not convinced that that was the fastest way to the witch tower. Oh, the rebound on that bonk was actually pretty sweet. Alright, we're going... There was a small key in Tar Room. We'll see what's in the right four chests. Christos will be picking up his hammer right now as well. Nah, nothing important here.
So what items are we still looking for? It's mainly the bow, ice rod, and mirror, and possibly another medallion. Yeah.
Logically, we need the mitts. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure we don't, like, these guys don't really need them. They can do the Ice Palace mirror wrap just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Nice way to get through this room.
Yeah,
you don't see
playing
it all that often.
Yeah, playing it all patient. I like that. Looks like Christos is now going into Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, it looks like last time he was planning to go there, but then changed his mind and took the route to the witch. Probably to stock up on potions for eventual fire rod shots.
But he's deciding to skip out on the basement in Hyrule Castle and go straight to Aga Tower. I think we haven't seen the basement from him yet, right?
No, he doesn't have half magic yet.
Went the big key in Bob's chest.
Alright, so we will be seeing the big chest after Ice Armors, probably. Oh, this is going to be a great fight. So what's the second best weapon against Armors?
I think it's Cane of Burner, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. This fight can be such a slog.
I think Fire Rod works also kind of well. Oh, I like the idea of that dash, actually.
Oh, has to be careful.
You take a lot of chip damage by doing it with the sword only. Meanwhile, Christos is making good progress here in Aga Tower on the right side.
And those locations of the torches. I personally just grab a map and pray. Alright, so what will the reward be? The mushroom. Okay. We'll see if that's worth it.
Well, Glan is definitely hoping that that was worth it. Picking up a fairy here in the bag, probably also a good idea.
That's definitely a good idea. Alright, and Chris is making it through Agate Tower, safe and sound. It was a nice display. So, I'll be going to the left side. We'll be using a mixture of bonks and bomb jumps in order to make it through. But there will be another 10 checks on the left side, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like 10 to 11, something.
So, how many blue balls?
I'm gonna go with 2. What is your guess?
I'll go for a meager 4. Silver arrows in the Stelvos room.
I think we got 1 blue ball up until now. So that's not too shabby.
And the shovel. Again, Tower delivering on some front at least.
But definitely not what you want to see. So that was 1 blue ball, I think.
I think you might be right there, yeah. I'm gonna see a quick pyramid check. Christos abiding by the see a full heart container, grab full heart container, which is definitely a wise decision when you're still in Green Mill.
Yeah, so you kind of want to be around 10 hearts, I think. That's kind of where things start to get more like comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you probably already got through the most dangerous place, being Total Rock, but I think 10 hearts is definitely the place where you want to be.
Alright, let's see on the left side what Glan finds here in the render room. It's just a bottle, big 20, piece of heart, and the book. So
Wow.
Ganonsow literally only had all the fetch quests. So that's gonna be interesting to see if one of them pays off or not.
Yeah, you'll be able to check the shovel and the bombo stablet quickly after each other. Those are pretty close together, but okay, it seems like he's going to give Aga another try.
Meanwhile, we see Christos heading to the Lumberjack Cave, pick up his mirror in a quick second. And Glan trying to follow suit here again. This time looking more healthy with the tempered sword, some potions, and definitely, I think, double the amount of hearts this time around.
Yeah, pretty much. He had 5 last time, 9 now, so it's definitely a lot healthier. He doesn't have that much magic, so you might have to be careful with which torches he lights.
Yeah, I think he will be fine. Like, he only really need like, what, 3 shots?
Yeah. Alright, Christos now also has normal Darkbolt access, so he won't have to do the Fountain Descent either. And Glan still has to do it once, probably, in order to get to Thieves Town. Okay, so Christos not immediately diving into Swamp Palace, checking Hype first. That's probably a good decision, but it would be nice to see just a straight dumpster dive.
It's a big 20 here. Finds the Ice Rod, the 3rd shield of what we know of, and
Ooh. Did you see that chest turn?
no, I did not see that. But yeah, this time we are not running around in search for the rods like these guys did yesterday, so that has to feel quite good. We're still missing that bow though, which might be just as bad.
Yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, at least here you need it for 2 different things, for Eastern Palace and for the GT Gauntlet. I think we'll see what we need for Meyer as well. That might be a small point of no knowledge. If we just need Quake for it, then it really just is the bow.
Yeah, we just saw Christos go to K45 in the irregular way, which you kind of rarely see in this mode.
Yeah,
I almost didn't even notice that, but
definitely not something that you're used to in Overworld glitches. But it is faster, so. And the powder, okay. So we've
do you go into Maya now, Christos, or do you head back up north into Thieves Town first?
With the hammer, I guess Thieves Town is a free clear. But I would have liked to see at least what you need for Meyer.
And Christos decides to check the magic bed first. I'm a bit surprised he didn't like clip up from the digging game, because there's a clip you can do that gets you into Village of Outcasts without requiring the mids.
Yeah, it saves you from having to do all the loop through Lost Woods in order to get back to the Dark World. So it saves a little bit of time. Yeah, finds the bad boomerang.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely not the one you like to see.
So Glan also got through a guitar in the meantime, by the way, to get it through cleanly this time. So he'll be picking up the mirror soon as well.
Also decides to grab that heart. Still not a bad idea, just the same as on Christos' side, and you might see Christos hop into Maya like this time around, or maybe Swarm. Oh, it's gonna be Maya, looks like.
Yeah, definitely looks like Maya.
So yeah, that's also just a regular downward teleport, and your guys' eyes are in for a treat in this screen, since the game tries to load the rain state like animation, but since we still have the regular Overworld, like Dark World Overlord palette loaded, it doesn't know what to do, and then the screen gets all messed up. But Christos saves us by instantly mirroring over to the checkerboard cave. And now we got the regular palette loaded and the rain state, so...
Alright. The Mara Shred holds just some health. And we find the lamp. Alright.
Funnily enough, like right after he did the Aga Towers. Probably not too happy to see that.
Yeah, after all the hassle he had to go through Aga Tower twice without the lamp. That's kind of a sour feeling, probably.
Head straight over to the Lumberjack Cave, pick up his mirror, and we will see where he goes next.
Yeah, I would expect Christos to also do Genstar right now.
Yeah. That's definitely the Ganos Tower clip that he's doing right now.
Alright.
He's gonna get all of his fetch quests. Still looking for the bow. I guess we saw the Maya Medallion, which is
Bombos, yeah.
Bombos, thanks to our tracker Dragon Strike, which is doing a fantastic job tonight. So we just need the bow and bombos for go mode here.
Yeah, again, logically we would need the mids for Ice Palace, but We really don't.
I think at this point you kind of don't want to see the mids, since that also unlocks the Smith chain. So it just gives you like more unnecessary stuff which you don't want to do, where the bow or the Bomos medallion might be hiding.
Yep. Oh no.
I think Glan softlocked there and immediately reset.
Yeah. I'm not having a lot of luck today. Yeah, sometimes the logic expects you to do pretty crazy things. I mean, getting to hammer packs for the lamp to get the mirror, that's pretty rough actually.
Yeah. Like, you'd have to go all the way around and grab the lamp, and then yeah, it's pretty bad.
Alright, does make the descent this time.
So it's gonna also check the bumper cave ledge. Finds his, I believe it was 50 rupees on that.
Yep. Yeah, correct.
And then
You
continues.
check it the first time.
Continues into Skullwoods. Let's see if he decides to finish that. Maybe check pedestal before he, like, what's the word? Huh.
I'm not sure, because it can really only be bombos. I think there's enough to check that you don't want to walk all the way over to that.
Yeah, I guess it's not really that urgent at this point.
But we have quite a bit open. I wouldn't be surprised to see Swamp Palace soon as well.
Yeah, I'm expecting Misery Maya and Swamp. Like, oh, we can't even get into Misery Maya, but probably Swamp and then Ice Palace after. That might be what's next on our schedule. Also, Glan will most likely finish Thieves Town on his first trip right now, since he got the hammer already.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, after we find the bow, I will expect that the runners will just do Eastern Palace and finish off GT. They will both have to come back for it later. But yeah, other than Thieves Town and Swamp, I don't see a lot of very attractive options.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to what's in Swamp. They could also finish up T-Rock if they decide to do so. Since, or at least Christos can, since he found the ice rod in the Hype Cave.
Yeah.
And Christos' ice armor fight is gonna be a little bit faster since he got sword beams, so that speeds up things a little bit since he doesn't like have to slowly walk towards the ice armors every time for a hit.
That certainly makes it a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, still not your favorite fight without the bow. Grabs this mushroom from the vanilla Bicky chest and continues upstairs.
Yeah, but just checking the big chest, and I think he's done here for now. Some new territory in Glan's side as well, going into the back of Thieves Town. Just going straight to the hallway a little bit, and then find another 4 chests worth of items.
Christos actually opening the middle door here to go over and check the tile room which from all we know only has another small key, so it's like 1 for 1 and he wastes a lot of time.
I think you should know that this had to be a small key. Because he has 0 right now. But I guess he knows much better than me.
Couldn't there be still keys upstairs in the mini Helmer room? Like in the chest in there?
I'm not sure. I think the game expects you to have a certain amount of keys in the basement before it allows you upstairs. But I'm not sure. Okay, he's just grabbing the magic and then sitting quitting. That makes sense. Right, so this is not something you see that often, I suppose. If you beat Aga, then save and quit in the Dark World while you have the Moon Pearl in the mirror, you could spawn into the Dark World.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most annoying things about Aga seeds. Since it happens so rarely that you actually have to go and defeat Aga, especially in Overworld glitches. And yeah, it tends to get to everyone. But maybe he wanted to spawn there, so...
He didn't really have a choice.
Oh yeah, that's actually true, since he couldn't get out of the GT like staircase. And we find Ether, so...
Wrong medallion.
Yeah, not the medallion we're looking for. So we still need Bombos and Debo for go mode on both sides. And Glan still needs to pick up his Ice Rod and the Hype Cave and Flippers, I think in T-Rock? If I'm not mistaken.
We wanted a lot of blue balls.
Actually gonna use one of them right now to flute over to the Maya area. Or more, more like desert area.
I guess he's just showing off. That's pretty sweet.
I think it's probably the fastest way to go to the Bombos tablet at this point. Oh yeah, so Flippers were in Hookshot Cave. So Glenn needs to go there and pick these up, as well as the Ice Rod in Hype Cave.
Yeah. No, he'll probably do a bit more of the south loop here.
I was gonna say that Christos still might need to open pod. So that's a bit of like risk leaving these rupees behind.
Alright. So I suppose we're going to see the rest of Thieves Town on Christos' side as well. Whoa, bucko, you don't have the mitts.
I think at this point we all stood like in front of that stone at least once trying to pull that.
For sure. Yeah, I've done that multiple times.
It's just one of these things that Randomizer, like, it would get to you at one point. Same as like flooding the key and all that like funny stuff.
Nobody ever floods the key in Swamp. It just doesn't happen. Right, so we're running out of good locations.
Yeah, I wonder when the first player goes over to Swamp. Because that looks pretty much like it's gonna be where the next piece of our progression is.
I think ChristosOwen has a slightly rational hate for Swamp. I don't blame him. Oh, the lag in this room is just...
Yeah, though he doesn't even have that many roots, but Yeah, their room is always kind of a mess. But yeah, Swamp definitely not like far up on anyone's favorite dungeon list.
Nah, but with how heavily the Siege probably was hinting towards it with everything that we've been given so far, I don't know how much, you can expect the Seed to lead you. But on the other hand, it is full clearable, and afterwards you can go straight into Ice as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like these guys are doing like unnecessary things right now, so they're doing progress, just not towards Swamp Palace. So it's not like they are wasting time.
Yeah.
Chris is trying to bomb open that wall instead of the hole in the bottom.
Fireworks everywhere.
But yeah, Glan on the left side, checking his magic bat. Christos finishing up Thieves Town. I wonder if we have to dip into Pod at some point.
Yeah, I would not be surprised by that either. Maybe for Bombos. Maybe it has the mids, so you can circumvent it. But I think the two main attractions right now are the two water dungeons, Swamp and Ice.
Yeah,
They're
especially
both full
Swamp.
clearable.
Especially Swamp, since that's in Logic, and Ice is not in Logic without the mids yet. And we have no idea where the mids are, so I think Swamp is definitely first on the agenda probably after Christos finishes Thieves Town.
Yeah, the only question is how much they actually care about the logic, considering that we saw 2 dark agas. Chris surprisingly going off sequence right here in the blind fight, but has more than enough health to get through it without any issues.
And still gets it done quite fast, so that wasn't too bad. And Glan with the quick hop here over that mountain. Always nice to see.
It's so hard to find the right pixel for that. That's also the wrong wall. Both our runners having issues with their interactions. Alright, so Glan hasn't done East Dark Death Mountain yet, so I would be surprised if he does that first. He can also full clear to a rock at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Trinex has at the end of that.
Definitely not the worst idea, but I think he also forgot about the spawning on the pyramid thing, which we just talked about like 5 minutes ago.
I mean, when does it ever happen?
I think it's just one of these things you're always proud of when you remember like getting back into the light world before saving and quitting. You always feel smart and like yeah.
It's a bad sign when you feel like you're outsmarting the game.
But yeah, Christos finally, from what we know, making the right choice to go into Swamp Palace here. Wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go straight towards the back and see if he gets like piece of progression or not.
That's a sword. It really doesn't do anything anymore, except for maybe a Trinex 0 cycle. And a quicker cold sting.
And a more boring Ganon, I guess.
Yeah. Unless he's a true show-off like he should be and just does tempered strats anyway. Alright. Glan giving us his Death Mountain swoop as well right now. We'll find his flippers.
Yeah, these were in the hookshot cave.
But other than that, there really wasn't anything noteworthy, I think.
No, I think so as well. Just finding the big key here along the way. Definitely glad to see that. Decides to go left first. Has to be careful though right now to not flood the key. Just hit the switch and then go back out the bottom door.
Smarter man than I.
It happens so fast. And you usually only realize it like after you put the switch. Like immediately after you go, oh no, did I really do that? But yeah, Christos definitely paying attention here.
I'm kind of surprised that he just immediately goes for left side. Because either item actually leads to quite a bit more. Like the bow unlocks EP, part of Pod. Not that you really want to go into Pod, but also the GT Gauntlet. And Bombos unlocks the entirety of Misery Mire.
Yeah, so what do you expect? Which item do we find first? Since both don't really unlock that much.
Probably bow.
I'm gonna go with mids.
I guess. I guess.
Right, so we had a big 20 here on the left side in Swamp. Let's see what's in the other chests. It's Blue Mail, so there was a whole lot of nothing over here.
Yeah, you're not excited to see that. The other thing that we haven't seen yet, I believe, is Fat Fairy.
Oh yeah, that's a logic as well, since we got the mirror.
We could technically get there the normal way as well.
Yeah. But who does that in Overworld glitches, right?
I don't think checkerboard has been done. I know Glan was in the area, but he didn't have the gloves by then.
I think actually both runners did it, if I'm not I am pretty sure one of them did. We found the flute on Crystal's side, which does pretty much nothing in this mode.
Yeah.
And after 1 hour and like 10 minutes, we probably won't see an activation on that one. Just very maybe.
Very, very maybe.
Yeah, since they don't really have a reason to come back into the Village of Outcasts area or like Kakariko area, and unless they fight mids and decide to do the Smith route, that might be the only reason why you would activate the flute.
Yeah, I mean, the flute really doesn't do anything without the mids either at this point. Because it does make access towards Ice Palace and Mire easier, but you don't really want to. There's a nice standard one cycle from Christos here. And we'll see how much Swamp actually gave us. Nothing.
So it's gonna be either in T-Rock or Pyramid Fairy. What else do we have left? I think there's not much more. that's in logic.
We have Eastern and Bot.
Oh yeah, okay. I totally forgot about that entire area for a second there. Yeah, I wonder where Christos is gonna go now.
Oh no, Glan. You'll have to do the interesting push here. I don't believe you can throw it to the right. Yeah. Oh, he had it right. You can push to the left and then kinda
Dash against it?
yeah, dash against it. Yeah, I guess mirroring out is the easier options. Yeah, you can push the block a bit to the left and up, and then dash into it. But it's kind of finicky.
Looks like Christos is gonna head over into T-Rock as well. I wonder if he's gonna do the mirror wrap to get straight to Laser Bridge, since he cleared all of it before.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Yeah, definitely the smart choice here. Young gets it first try. Very good job. So do you want to explain it this time?
Nope.
Nope. All right. So what he's doing there is he's pressing the mirror on the same frame he transitions screens, and I'm not like 100% sure what happens, but when he transitions back, he kind of wraps around until he can like land on solid ground where Link can stand. And it happens to be that if you do it at this spot, you kind of land on that little like thing in front of the laser bridge exit. And yeah, you can just go in and bump open the wall, and then you're like on laser bridge. So that's pretty convenient, since you don't really want to go through all of or like half of T-Rock again.
Oh no, Krista is getting to the fire up. It doesn't get the zero cycle, but we'll be able to make short work of Trinix regardless. Yeah, not far behind him.
Yeah, only a Swamp Palace behind at this point, I think.
Yeah, and he has Hammer Pegs and the front of Escape over Christos at this point. And finds Bombos. Okay, there it is. So, I expect Misery Mire right now. From both of them, really.
Yeah, and funnily enough, also maybe a rare side if you are used to like regular rando. You see that these guys finish T-Rock, but we still have no idea what the medallion yeah, I guess you know what I mean. The required medallion to open T-Rock is.
It really almost never matters.
And Chris is fluting to 6, realizing he doesn't have the mids.
Well then. I think at that point saving and quitting and just going from Link's house might be faster.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know, it might be kind of close, so maybe Christos doesn't want to waste like half of his hearts by saving and quitting.
Yeah, I suppose that's a fair point.
So the clip Christos is doing is probably one of my least favorite ones, since if these like bombing guys decide to, you know, not make you be able to clip into that wall, they will ruin your day. Because if you get damaged, you usually get like pushed out of the wall, and you have to do your setup again and all that, and it's really annoying. But yeah, at least we get to see the nice screen effect on Crystal's side again.
I almost missed it.
So I like how it like slowly goes away when you open the Misery Mire portal.
Yeah, it looks like Glan is following suit. That's very nice.
Yeah, that's very good for Glan, since he might be able to go more to Swamp Palace later then. Really depending on where the bow is.
Yeah, it really depends on where the bow is, indeed. I mean, still Swamp behind. It's a couple of minutes, but if he decides to make the right decisions after this, and if the bow's not here, then he might be able to make up some time. But for now, I would say that Christos has a pretty solid lead, because there aren't that many checks that are very out of the way that Glan has done. Or that are left in general.
I think Glan might be hoping for a bow hunt at this point. Like secretly hoping. I mean, we all know he doesn't know that, you know, Christos is slightly ahead.
Yeah, maybe at this point he hopes that it's on the Smith chain or something.
I wonder if he feels behind. I guess he does a little bit, considering the Aga Tower mishappenings earlier, but I wonder if it's like too bad. Christos making good use of that blue potion here, not fake fluting, but activating the torches, since he didn't pick up the lamp, which was in the Hammerpack cave.
So the big key is in its vanilla location. During the clear, Glan will be able to make up a little bit of time over Christos with having the lamp for the dark rooms.
Oh yeah, I guess. But I expect Christos probably knows these dark rooms very well. Wouldn't take too much longer than Glan does. It's always nice to have the lamp at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm getting the sinking feeling that the bow is behind the mids, but that it might be an Ice Palace.
Yeah, you might be right. But from all we know, the bow might just be in like Eastern Palace vanilla location or something. We could have had it like all game long.
That always seems to be the case, doesn't it?
I mean, there's gotta be a troll somewhere, and what's more troll than a vanilla item in Randomizer?
Moonpill and chest game.
I don't think that's too bad. That's kind of the fun part about Overworld glitches, if stuff like that happens. But yeah,
that's kind of why you play it, yeah.
Some people might argue about that.
Right, we haven't seen Spike Cave yet either. Shopping, good point there. So, Ferry, Spike Cave, Eastern and Pod.
Yeah, and Ice.
And Ice.
Which is not in Logic yet. I pretty much expect Christos to go into Ice after this. Like, I would be surprised if he doesn't do it.
Having some issues with the dark room right here. Okay, we did get it.
Yeah, it's the hardest one of the dark rooms done, in my opinion.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to follow dark rooms if you don't have the sound.
Yeah, I agree with that, but We can see that he's in the third dark room with the switch on top, entering the last one. Just has to bump open the door in the top part, hit the switch, and then go out.
Man, I almost forgot what this room looked like. Now you can see that Glan made up some decent time over Christos here.
Yeah, but these are still like neck and neck, at least for this dungeon, so not too bad on both sides. Execution-wise, both players are doing pretty well this seed, apart from maybe Glan in the Agatha sequence, but other than that, they are both doing a fantastic job here.
Yeah, Glan had some rough patches at the start when it comes to the death in near Wumper Cave at the start, the Agate Tower afterwards.
Oh yeah, I guess that happened as well.
But as of the last half an hour or longer, it's been really good. So, what do you expect to see after this?
I'd expect Christos to go into ice and Glan head towards Swamp Palace. Yeah, that's at least what I would do in both of these guys' shoes. I think Christos is kind of debating what he should do next. This kind of looks like ice when he's grabbing the hearts in Link's house already.
Yeah, if you're going into the Dark World here, it definitely makes sense.
Maybe we see a Pyramid Fairy first, with like the regular way.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. It looks like Glan is doing the alt dungeon sequence here, going from Mire into Swamp and then maybe into Ice right afterwards. It looks like Chris is going to Ice Palace right here.
Yeah, so you need to clip up that mountain, then screen transition over, do a mirror wrap, like right here, and looks like Christos didn't get it, so he mirrored earlier instead of the same frame that he transitioned. Now he has to wait to go back into the Dark World and then like do the mirror wrap. This puts him like in the statue, and here he has to be careful to not walk up too high, because then he will soft lock, and then he gets wrapped like kind of on the island that Ice Palace is on, and he only has to find the entrance on that like messed up screen. And he's in Ice Palace without actually having the mids, which is pretty neat in my opinion. Like you don't really need mids in that mode.
Yeah, really the only thing that you would need it for is the smooth sequence at this point. So this is not necessarily in logic, but since we need to beat Ice Palace anyway, and the bow could just be here, it's really not a bad play to do.
But we already found one item, which was a big 20, so not too happy to see that, like right off the bat.
Yeah, when you still have seven locations left in Ice Palace, and only 2 of them are items, it makes it a lot less attractive.
Yeah, Glan also picking up his Butter Sword here in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. I'm curious to see whether or not he'll go to the left side. Might be able to save a minute or two by skipping it.
Yeah, but with that few locations available, I don't know. He also checked some kind of overworld spots that Christos didn't do yet. But maybe he feels inclined to do some gamble regarding the earlier deaths in Agatha and on the like in front of the Bumper Cave.
Alright, finally two. Some new chests and ice battles. That's the second item already. It's debating. Oh.
That was a bit wacky, but I think he still got this.
Yeah. That was an interesting setup. That's not one I've seen before.
I think this specific bomb jump has like 20 different setups that different people use. It's always fun to see people do that one, and it's like, oh, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Some bomb jumps have a lot of different. I mean, just even for the Skull Woods and Tower of Power bomb jumps, there's like the walk up slowly setup, there's the dash bonk setup, there's the spin setup now. It's really cool to see how many different strategies have.
Yeah, Christos finding. Yeah, definitely. Christos finding the big key here on the right side. Gets another small key here. Still missing one item in Ice Palace.
Do you suppose that maybe Christos will just leave the Eastern End pot for last at this point? Just assuming that maybe the boat leads to the mids instead?
I think we will see him go into Eastern and or Pod after this, instead of doing like the rest of the Overworld checks that he still is missing.
Alright, so Glan is going back in for the last two items. Alright, so the piece of heart is the last item in Ice Palace, so no bow right here. So I guess the guessing game continues as to where the bow might be.
So what do we still have left? It's Spy Cave, it's Pod and EP, it's... Did we see Catfish yet?
Yeah, we have seen Catfish. I think Christos did that after doing Aghanim. So yeah, it's those locations that you've mentioned. There's Pyramid Ferry. But otherwise, I'm at a loss.
So would you check the remaining Overworld checks? Or would you also like gamble for Pod and EP?
I would probably just finish off the overworld check right now. But I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the correct choice to make. It's just a gut feeling at this point.
I think there's not really a wrong choice or correct one. It's whatever you feel like. You know, it's really hard to say in Randomizer, in my opinion. I mean, there's definitely choices that are less good than others, but they are never wrong. Like, as long as you do stuff and like check chess, it's still good.
Yeah, maybe Pyramid Ferry is attractive to ChristosOwen right now because he can link that together with the Hammer Pack chest. Be able to swim over to that location after checking.
I think he could also link that with the Spy Cave. Like, do Spy Cave and then mirror at the bottom of Death Mountain, and then do the clip to Pyramid Ferry, since he has the flute as well.
Yeah, you could definitely do that as well.
It looks... Also, I think you don't even need to correct your camera after doing Spy Cave. I think we've seen that yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Could have just hopped into Spy Cave at this point and then continued what he's doing right now.
And it was pretty odd that it was still offset after doing Spy Cave.
I also see Glan doing the Ice Palace mirror wrap here on the left side. You
No,
cannot save
can't
and
save
quit.
quick.
Maybe he just decided to do something else. He could have just fluted to... Oh, we didn't never activate that.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is actually that rare case where they have done Aga. So even if he did that, he would have needed to like go around the gate in front of Hyrule Castle, either by going the way he's going right now.
He never even checked this?
I think he never did. I think he's kind of surprised himself.
Okay. Alright then.
Yeah, the other way to get into the like front yard of the Hyrule Castle is to do like a castle jump on the left side. It's kind of a cool glitch. And yeah, I think he just realized that he was not able to save and quit. Like saving and quitting deletes your mirror portal, so you can't do that.
No, Pyramid Fairy has not been checked yet. That's one of the few locations that we are still missing.
Gladys is getting some catch-up time here, since Christos probably not too familiar with that specific glitch.
Yeah. He's definitely making up a lot of time like this, and we'll see where he gets it this time. By either just making his way down to the castle.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, this looks like it's okay.
Now he has to go all the way around and pay attention to not accidentally enter the like the Aga portal in front of Hyrule Castle.
It would be tragic, but also really funny. But yeah, he just goes all the way back. Yeah. So there apparently is a way to not have to go fall in this hole and get to the courtyard. No, no!
That's still not too bad though. He can just go back up and and do the same thing. So yeah, I guess doing the Death Mountain descent might mess up your camera.
Okay, well, first tries the charm, right? There we go. Okay. And you know, he could have just bought the bomb, and
yeah, I guess that would have been fast at this point.
we got in. All right. And nothing. Oh no. And saving crits gets back on the pyramid.
That definitely doesn't have to feel nice. Doing all that and then it's like a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, meanwhile we see Glan traversing through the Ice Palace, doing his checks. It's surprising that he's also full clearing the place, since he, for all he knows, Bo might be in here, locked behind the mids.
I forgot that we haven't seen... We have not seen King's Tomb yet either, have we?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wow. Okay, well... After 1 hour 34 minutes, we're in go mode. After we found a bow in a Sphere 1 location.
Yep.
Of course it is.
Yeah, we could have gotten that like 10 minutes into the game, like even as soon as we started the game.
But yeah, that means the mids might as well just be an EP or pod, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or even in Gan Star.
Yeah, that might still be upstairs. Let's try it. But yeah, Glan remembering that he needs to mirror so he doesn't land on the pyramid.
Christos, please. He really wanted to get the dash with cannonballs there. Alright, so I expect the Pyramid Fairy play from Glan as well. Might see Spike Cave in between. I'm not sure when he will decide to check Graveyard Lake.
I wonder why he decides to like fix his camera here. Pretty sure you can. Oh, maybe he's gonna. Huh.
He might want to do Graveyard
Oh.
Ledge and
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Together like this. But this really works out.
So yeah, Glan really not too far behind considering all what happened.
Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty close. I mean, Christos' execution should be able to hold up with the lead that he has. But Glan definitely made up a lot of time in between, like, the start of Meyer and this.
Yeah, so Christos really only needs to go back into GT, do the upstairs stuff, and then head over to Ganon.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and Glan doing the straight to Eastern Palace thing. I'm not sure if that works. Nope, alright. Yeah, it has to go back around. It's a little bit finicky, and I think you only save like 5 seconds if you do it really fast.
But it's something nice to show off with. That's all that matters.
Christos doing the clip into Ganon's tower, which we've seen both runners do before. It's a pretty easy setup. You just align with that straight wall on the right side. Hold out your sword, do a hook dash, and then you kind of just hold left until you can't move any further, and then release your spin and hold down right actually in this place. Like normally you would imagine that you need to press down left, but in this particular spot it's down right for whatever reason, and then you kind of jump up and you're slightly on the right side of the stairs of GT, and then you gotta press right to unstuck yourself, and then you can just like conveniently walk up and get into GT.
Yeah. At first it was kind of daunting to learn all these clips and stuff, but after a little bit of practice, they really aren't all that bad.
Yeah, I think it looks more scary than it actually is if you are watching these glitches be done by these runners. But it definitely takes some like motivation to sit down and look into things.
You definitely need to know what you're doing, but once you do, the execution part isn't that bad. I guess that's the case of speedrunning in general, right? You just need
Christos having the time of his life here in the gauntlet with the gold sword. Making very quick work of all the rooms. Heading to the Lambo 2 fight quite early, where we see Glan doing the Silver Arrow Amos fight on the left side.
Silver arrows making the game too easy.
Yeah, we just saw that on both screens, and I actually like that little setup Christos did when he like arrived in the middle of the Lambo 2 room. He bonked against the door on the top wall, just so he can time the arrow shots a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's probably the same setup that you use in the No Major Glitches category in Desert Palace. But then instead of having a hard time with 4 shots, you only need 1.
Yeah.
Alright, so Glan following suit to Ganon's tower.
Unfortunately, he's still a couple of minutes behind.
Yeah, like Chad said, it really was only the Aga Tower debacle.
I think considering what happened to Christos with the Pyramid Ferry, they would have been quite even. I think the only difference at this point is that Glan did the front of escape and like a couple more overworld checks.
Yeah. That's a good point. Chris with a slightly risky dash up there. Might have gotten knocked off, but no frame rule today.
Yeah, let's see what pattern Aga 2 gives us today.
He does get the double there. Looks like it might be a little bit sketchy with the spin, but... Oh, almost a triple.
Yeah, barely missed that third shot.
Just the blue ball, so we can't get the free cycle, but... It really wasn't a bad Aga 2.
Yeah, this could have gone a lot worse. So very good job on Christos' side there. Gonna head into his Ganon fight, and since he got all 7 crystals, defeated Aga 2, he can actually defeat Ganon. Because if you don't have these and you decide to clear GT, hop into the Ganon fight in this mode, and you try to get like into phase 4, Ganon cannot be hurt. So you cannot cheese your way like to an early victory.
Yeah, he'll just taunt you whenever you just drop into the fight, saying that there's no way that you can beat him yet.
Christos just tanking these fire bats, doesn't even care with the blue mail.
Blue mill, 15 hearts, no issue at all.
Yeah, no real reason to dodge them.
Alright, and then just 4 silver hits.
And yes, Ganon, we found these silver arrows. It's the quick torch, probably not in the best position.
Oh, that was just in time. But he gets getting down. And that's up 145. That's really not a bad time considering what Dale went through.
Yeah, that's true. Like you might expect Overworld glitches to be over like a little bit faster than a regular seed, but it really is about the same time. But yeah, with that, ChristosOwen finishes the seed with an official SRTV time of 1 hour 44 minutes and 52 seconds, and with that he is gonna advance to the next round, actually playing against me in round 2 of this tournament.
Yeah, so how do you feel about it? I guess we might have to wait until the interview to see both of your thoughts about it, I suppose.
Not too happy, since I know that both of these runners obviously are pretty strong, we just saw that. But yeah, we will see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, we're just on the tail end of Glan's tower as well. Hopping into Anger 2 in a little bit, and then a quick Ganon fight as well.
Yeah, still doing a fantastic job finishing the seed just as fast.
And it does look like we're joined here by ChristosOwen. GG's on your win. How are you feeling? Doesn't look like the sound is coming through, at least on my end.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. I wasn't pushed to talk. I didn't realize.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I said I feel a bit bittersweet because I'm pretty good friends with Glan, so it's always a shame to kind of eliminate one of your friends from a tournament like this. But especially because he's helped me learn a bunch of glitches in the last few days, along with Panda. They've both been helping me. So yeah, but overall, I'm happy-ish with how I played. My Fat Fairy adventure was pretty special, but other than that, it felt okay.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. That was quite the adventure indeed. But third try was the charm in the end.
Yeah, I thought I'd preempt it because I was pretty sure that would be something that got brought up. The problem was I just momentarily forgot how to do the Light World clip, like how you do DMD. I didn't know which ledge to jump off of, so I didn't want to like soft lock after setting up the warp. And I didn't think saving and quitting would remove the warp point. I also completely forgot I'd never checked Uncle. And then when I went into Houlihan the second time, I was just like, what is going on? Please just let me get to the portal.
Yeah, it certainly was special. You could have also probably just died on that mountain, but that would have taken a long time with 15 hearts.
Oh, true. I never thought about that, actually. So wait, dying wouldn't have removed my portal, but a save and quit does.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Sorry,
there's a
man,
few things I need to kind of refresh my memory with. I died in Thieves Town to just death warp out, and then I heard the Light World music playing. I was like, oh right, I'm in the fake world. Managed to kind of salvage going to Sitkid at the time, but that was unplanned.
We thought that was totally on purpose because that looked like it was planned out.
No, not at all. Like I was just trying to make the best of an unexpected situation there. I was like, well, I found Bottle, so I can just do Sitkid. But I wanted to just continue the Dark World loop. So that was a little unfortunate. But I guess if it looked like I meant it, then I shouldn't have said anything. Damn it.
So what do you think about these Dark Rocks?
Yeah, it's really weird not like being around the Dark World and just not having mitts. I'm just not used to it because I haven't played these type of seeds in such a long time. And I don't know, it must have been like 5 or 6 times I tried picking up a black rock without mitts. The funniest one when I beat Turtle Rock, mirrored, then set up against the screen with a bomb, fake fluted to 6, and then couldn't pick up the rock. And I was like, that was such a waste of time. And now I look like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, there were quite a bit of numpty scenarios, I suppose. But it was a great show regardless. We're also joined by Glan. GG's.
Hi.
How did you feel about the seed?
Good games, man.
Good games. About the seed was fine.
Right. How do you feel about Agate Tower?
I feel like I'm garbage.
How far through did you die?
It was the last room with the hole and the 2 guards.
Yeah, he got pretty unlucky. He was down to like 1.5 hearts, and then he got poked by the guard and fell into the ground, and then lost like his last remaining heart from falling down.
I put the cape on to walk through him, and it ran out, and he pushed me into the hole, and I died.
That, oh my god. I just can't. You must have been frustrated from that. Like,
I was furious.
Did you go back through then, or did you leave?
No, I did it later.
Okay. Probably
I had no magic left.
Yeah.
And
Magic was also a bit of an issue for me as well. I saved and quit Link's house and was about to go there, and then on my way realized I had no magic. So then was like, okay, I'll just go to the potion shop, and did some weird route to the potion shop, and then was like, well, while I'm here, I may as well do Zora's Domain. I have the flippers, and then found Hammer, and was like, well, that ended up being convenient. But yeah, I'm sure it probably looked a bit weird to the commentators.
Yeah, sometimes we were kind of wondering, okay, what's the plan right now? But in the end, it was pretty clear what the intention was. It just didn't always work out, I suppose. Yeah, the seed really did lead you guys to a bunch of different locations, especially when it comes to the search for the bow, and then it ended up being in a Sphere 1 location.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. When I found it, my heart kind of sank a bit, and I had no idea if Glan was going to win at that point. I was like, I'm just going to have to try and execute as best I can through GT and Eastern and see what happens. But I figured he would have had that before me.
It was actually both of you guys, Gomod item.
yeah. I had the benefit of an A button that doesn't work, so that was fun.
That sucks so much, especially for glitch mode.
Like it gets stuck down. So like if I spin speed, then it gets stuck down and I start dashing again and then I lose it.
Oh no, yeah, that's rough.
And then I like infinite scroll trying to DMD because I couldn't get the A button unstuck and then I moved down. I'm like, okay, that was a nice waste of a minute.
I soft-locked in several walls today, again.
I did once.
And there was an attempt at a drinking game going on in chat at the start.
What, every time someone soft-locks, take a shot or something?
More specifically you, but
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to name any names, but you might maybe guess whose idea it was.
I have a few ideas. So I have a question. I'm guessing Glan went to Agha's Tower before me then, so it was like less equipped for it.
Yeah.
Compared to when I went.
Yeah, you did the entire South Shore loop before going there, and Glenn did not, so he was on 5 hearts, and that ended up like hurting him. But actually, we just talked about that like a couple of minutes before you guys finished the seed. What really made the difference probably was Glenn checking the escape, while you did not do that. That was probably the main difference, because you messed up the fake ferry, the pyramid ferry warp a couple of times, and that's kind of like what Glenn wasted in Agha Tower.
Yeah, I probably wasted, I'd say, 3 minutes just messing around trying to get the fake ferry, not fake ferry, pyramid ferry clip to work. I can't believe like how bad it was. I need to learn the super jump or whatever it's called.
Yeah, we were just saying that it might have just been faster to just grab the bomb and go the regular way around.
Okay, I made it like you're not allowed to get the bomb in this mode when you have the mirror.
Yeah, that's true.
I just banned myself from doing it. I was like, I'll get ridiculed.
Okay, is that also why you did not activate the flute?
No, that was just I bought 4 blue potions, so I had 4 uses of flute, and it was just been a waste of time at the kind of point in the run I got it.
Because there was also a way to get back to the main world, I suppose, after setting up the portal.
True, actually, yeah, that could have been helpful. Yeah, maybe in hindsight it would have been quicker for me if I did activate it, but like if I find it early, I definitely would activate the flute. But I found it after like an hour and 20 or something weird.
Yeah.
Where was it? It was in Swamp.
It was in Swamp, yeah.
Yeah. I was very surprised not to find any progression in Swamp.
Yeah, so the main thing I was actually still missing were the mids. But considering where the bow was, it might as well just happen in Eastern or Pod, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't check the other. I just go moded Eastern, so like the mids maybe in there or Pod first chest.
Or GT comp.
Well, actually anywhere in Pod, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, both of you just didn't need it at all because we already talked about how you were both pretty knowledgeable about all the glitches in the overworld. So
I was kind of
That's
half
pretty
hoping to see them be an ice palace. Should have been pretty cool.
I don't think they can logically be an ice palace because the logic doesn't account for mirror.
Oh yeah,
You
I
should
forgot
know
that we don't.
that.
Yeah, no, I forgot how much we babied down Overworld glitches. There's no mirror wraps in the logic, is there?
No.
Okay. Wow, I kind of forgot about that. Oh, so that means the big key can't be in the back of Turtle Rock.
Correct.
Okay, I should bear that in mind.
So yeah, all this information will help you for your next round, which will be against Verlaine right here. So how are you feeling about the matchup?
Oh,
Against
no!
the both of you.
I'm doomed.
You were being scouted.
I felt doomed against Glan. Any win I can pull out is a bonus for me in this mini tournament.
Well,
I'm enjoying the games. That's the most important thing. Like especially compared to the non-glitch tournament, like I'm really enjoying this, like the seeds and the mode. So it's fun. Win or lose, I'm having fun.
It's just wacky stuff that you don't usually get to do. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it as well. So
I just really hope more people get into it.
yeah, I mean, I guess this tournament definitely got people into it already. There were some people who didn't know about this in general and then decided to get into it.
Yeah, like you and me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to learn new, like vanilla category anyway, so this was a nice segue into all dungeons. But yeah, it has been great, and I'm really enjoying all the races that have been going on.
I need to work out whether going like my early route. I'm still not convinced that it's that great. What I need to do is watch a few other races and see some other strategies because I'm not convinced what I do is the best.
Yeah, that definitely helps a lot, I think.
I need to steal strats. Especially like both. Oh, one thing, Glan, mirror on Lumberjack again. What is that?
I said some things that I can't repeat here.
I just for a second I was like, are we playing like is there an error?
And,
Are we doing the same seed?
Yeah, on Thursday night I did a practice seed and it also had mirror on Lumberjack.
Wow.
So I'm kind of fed up with that.
So yeah, any last words you guys want to exchange or like put out there?
Well, to Glan, thanks for 2 really fun matches. As I said, while Glan wasn't there, a bittersweet win for me.
Yeah.
And then to other people, the viewers and stuff, get involved. If you enjoyed what you saw, please get involved. We have so many tutorials and resources.
It's not that hard to learn.
how
You
to
can
do
learn
this.
it in a few hours.
Exactly. Like all you need is to do the majority of this is just learn one basic technique, clipping. And Scudge has a guy called Super Scudge has a fantastic introductory tutorial. You could sit down with that in 20 minutes, understand it fully, and then you can do like 80% of the clips and things you saw. It's just the most fun way to play Link to the Past, parkour over Hyrule. So please don't be put off and think it looks hard because it just looks harder than it is.
Yeah, I agree. And with
But
that,
make
I
sure-
think... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Make sure your A button works properly before trying.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Yeah, I agree with both of what these guys said. And with that, I think we should wrap it up at this point. There's going to be a Super Metroid race right after this one. Also, if you like what you saw, give both of these runners a follow. I also want to thank my commentator, Area, which did a fantastic job commentating this with me. Also, a big thanks to our tracker, Dragonstrike, which also kept us up to date, made this like a lot easier for us. And also make sure to keep following this tournament since, as Chris just said, it's a lot of fun watching, playing this mode. So yeah, there's gonna be a last race tonight, I think, at 5 p.m. on the ALTTP Randomizer channel. So make sure to check that out. I think there's Glan on commentary for this one, so make sure to tune in and yeah, have a nice weekend.
And good luck on your race after this, Christos.
Oh, thank you very much. I just
Yeah,
have to
good
remember
luck.
not to use glitches for this one.
You're obviously better than you think you are, so.
I don't know. Kyung did beat me in my opinion. Like, I lost twice, but then he fell at Ganon, so I don't know. But I'll play the game, see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should say as well, thank you guys so much for commentating, Dragon Strike for tracking.
Yeah, well, thank you for the great showing, and I'll see you later.